Afternoon. The front door opens. Banani's father comes in, carrying a box in his hands. Mom. Hi. How was work? Dad. Fine, look what I brought. Mom. What is it? Dad. It's a chicken. Mom. A chicken? And what are you planning to do with a chicken? Dad. I want us to kill it and have a fresh chicken for dinner. Mom. I don't know if I can actually kill a chicken. Dad. No, it's easy, I'll show you. They go to the kitchen with the box. They open the lid. The chicken flaps its wings and looks at them. But neither of them has the courage to take the next step. Finally, they look at each other and make a quick decision. Dad. All right, let's put it in the garage. They carry the cage to the garage and set it on the floor. The chicken stares at them, curious, pecking here and there. Afternoon. Banani comes home from school, backpack crooked on his shoulder. He doesn't go inside. He heads straight to the garage, like he sometimes does out of curiosity. He opens the door. Inside, he hears a noise. Banani. Oh, what the? A real chicken, flesh and feathers, stares at him and pecks the floor. Banani. Ah. A chicken. Who put you here? He approaches slowly, hands outstretched. The chicken scurries away, flapping and making a racket. Banani laughs and runs after it. Banani. Ah, clever one. I'll catch you. After a few minutes, he gives up, but happily. He sits on the floor. Banani. I'll call you Lena the chicken. Do you like it? Huh. Lena the chicken. The chicken clucks as if responding. Banani smiles, then goes back inside the house. In the kitchen, he finds his mother. Banani. Mom. Did you know there's a chicken in the garage? Mom. Yes. We found her on the street. She was all alone. So we adopted her. Banani. Really? Then she's mine. Banani is thrilled. But Mom sighs. In the following evenings, the chicken starts pooping everywhere. The garage stinks. At night she clucks and flaps her wings, waking half the neighborhood. One morning, as Banani leaves for school, a curious neighbor stops him at the gate. Neighbor. Hey, what do you have in the garage? A chicken? You know, it's annoying. Can't sleep at night? Banani stays quiet, not knowing what to say. The next day. Banani comes back from school running, tossing his backpack on the ground. He can't wait to play with Lena, the chicken. He opens the garage. Inside, silence. Empty. Banani. Oh. But, where's Lena? He looks around, checks behind the boxes, under the workbench. Nothing. He bites his lip and runs to the kitchen. Banani. Mom. Mom. Where's Lena? Mom sighs, drying her hands on her apron. Mom. Honey, the chicken was pooping too much. And making noise all night. We couldn't keep her in the garage. Banani. But I played with her. Mom. I know, but it was also against the condo rules. The neighbors were complaining. So we gave her to a lady who has a farm. She'll be fine there, lots of space and other chickens like her. Banani lowers his gaze. He believes it, but he's sad. Banani. I had gotten attached. Mom strokes his hair, but he stays quiet, lump in his throat. Sunday. As every Sunday, Mom and Dad take Banani to eat at Grandma's. The table smells of roast. Grandma arrives with a steaming tray. Grandma. Here you go. Today I made chicken. Banani's eyes widen. On the plate, a piece of meat with crispy skin. Banani. Lowering the fork. No. I'm not eating this. This is Lena. You cooked my chicken. Dad. What are you saying? This isn't your chicken. Mom. Of course not. Your chicken is at the lady's farm. This is another one. Banani looks at them, uncertain. Eventually, he lets himself be convinced. He takes the fork, tastes it. Sighs. Eats. Dash. The next day, at school. Banani tells Igor everything, satisfied. Banani. See. It wasn't Lena. It was another chicken. My parents told me. Igor. Smiling. Sure, Banani. Don't worry. It was another chicken. Banani nods, reassured, and walks away. Igor stays alone, shaking his head, muttering to himself. Igor. Comedic, almost solemn. So, let's take stock. Banani has already eaten his pet twice. Not once. Twice. By now, in his family, it's no longer an accident, it's a tradition. It seems feeding Banani his own pet has become an Olympic sport. And the parents? Undisputed champions. I imagine them at the Guinness World Records. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the Banani family, holders of the world record for serving the most pets to their child at the table without him noticing. Gold medal, standing ovation, and Banani in the front row chewing happily, unaware that he's chewing his best friend. Igor. Banani's father woke up every morning with a grand purpose. From today we eat healthy, natural, no junk. And how did it always end? With Banani adopting a new pet, and with Banani finding it, roasted, on his plate that very evening. It was a ritual. Father buys the animal, mother says I can't kill it, Banani gets attached, even gives it a cute name, and on the table appears the chicken, the rabbit, the quail. And the parents? Always ready with a new excuse. Oh no, Banani, don't worry, that's not your pet, that's its cousin. Yours is fine, on vacation in the countryside, sending postcards. In short, at Banani's house, it wasn't a family, it was a travel agency for pets. First stop, garage, second stop, wood-fired oven. Igor. Maybe the problem wasn't Banani, it was his parents. They had this obsession, any animal that came into the house, ended up in a pen. It was automatic. Maybe Banani should have chosen a pet that wasn't edible. A bat, a boa constrictor, a giant worm. Maybe they would have left those alone. Because, well, you can fry a rabbit, but try breading a boa. Yeah, maybe that was his mistake, thinking his parents wanted pets, when really, they just wanted ingredients. Igor. It's an insecure situation, you see? From that day on, every time Banani got his hands on a new pet, he didn't think about what to name it, or what games to play. No. He thought, wait a second, can I eat it? If it was edible, like a rabbit or chicken, he knew its days were numbered. It was just a matter of time, a countdown with cutlery in hand. If it was a hamster, a parakeet, or a turtle, then he breathed a sigh of relief. Okay, I can play with it for a couple of years at least. Nobody makes turtle cacciatore. Basically, having a pet for Banani wasn't about affection, it was statistics. A cold analysis of gastronomic survival rates. Dash. Meanwhile, Papaya, back from school, sees the kids in the yard playing soccer. Papaya. Mom, I'm going out to play soccer. Mom. Okay, be careful. Once in the yard, the kids notice him. Kid 1. Ah, hi Papaya. Kid 2. How's it going? Kid 1. Let's make teams. Kid 2. Papaya, you're terrible, why don't you be the referee? Papaya thinks for a moment. Papaya. Alright, I'll be the referee. The kids form teams and start immediately. Papaya watches carefully. Kid 1 kicks, but instead of hitting the ball, he hits the opponent's leg, who falls near the goal, wincing in pain. Papaya. Foul. Penalty. Kid 1 huffs. Kid 1. What are you saying? He fell by himself. Papaya. No. I saw it clearly, you did it on purpose. The kid gets angry and plots revenge. The other kid sets up the ball for the penalty, but as soon as he moves away, Kid 1 runs first and blasts the ball right at Papaya's face. His glasses fly off and break as they hit the ground. Papaya falls to the ground, stunned in pain. Later, he collects the glasses and goes to the optician. Optician. What happened? Papaya. A soccer ball. My glasses broke. Optician. Let me see. The optician examines the broken glasses. Optician. I can try to fix them. At that moment, Igor enters the store. Igor. When Papaya blew the whistle for the penalty, he didn't think it would come straight to his face. Papaya. Nostalgia is made of fragments of memories, like puzzle pieces, but in reality, a cannonball hits you and you're left with nothing but broken glasses. At school, Papaya walks between the desks when he notices something on the floor. It's Lele the Crazy's jacket. Papaya. Oh no, sorry. Unintentionally, he steps on it. Lele the Crazy glares at him with fiery eyes. Then he makes an immediate decision, he lifts his foot and presses his dirt-covered shoe onto Papaya's desk. Papaya. But, wait. He tries to remove the foot. While doing so, he lifts Lele's foot too high. Papaya. Oops. Lele loses his balance, falls backward, and hits his head on the teacher's desk. Silence in the classroom. The teacher rushes over. Lele the Crazy is taken to the hospital with 2 stitches on his head. Papaya gets a note in his diary. He sits down, dejected, holding the diary. Igor. Some people get 2 stitches on the head rightfully, and some get 2 words in a diary unfairly. 2 extremes, but both hurt. Meanwhile, Ravioli gets ready for another school day. As soon as he enters, the usual bully confronts him. Bully. Welcome, fatty. The bully kicks him, but Ravioli ignores it, continuing to walk with his sore leg toward his desk. He sits down. The teacher enters and opens the register for roll call. But the bully stands up. Bully. Teacher. Ravioli hit me. The teacher, without even asking for details, widens her eyes and glares at Ravioli with disdain. She doesn't ask the bully anything. Teacher. Ravioli, what's gotten into you? Ravioli. It's not true. Teacher. Good, Francesco. If he hits you again, don't be afraid to tell me. Ravioli shakes his head, incredulous. Teacher. Ravioli, bring me your diary and I'll put a note in it immediately. Igor. At school, Ravioli was a bit like a boxer in the ring, dodging bullies' kicks, taking teachers' injustices, but one thing was certain, the ending, for him, would always be a KO. Music classroom. A keyboard sits in the center. The children are gathered around, ready to play one at a time. Ravioli has a slight cold and keeps blowing his nose. Teacher. Ravioli, your turn. Ravioli sits down. Fingers on the keys. He's about to play the famous Barilla Pasta jingle. Completely focused. An itch on his nose. Ravioli tries to ignore it. He can't move his hand if he hits a wrong note, goodbye perfection. And then, a sneeze. Uncovered. a big piece of snot flies through the air and lands straight in the perfect, styled blonde hair of a classmate. Classmate! Ah! She cries, pulling at her hair in despair. Teacher! Ravioli! What kind of behavior is this? Ravioli blushes. Eyes down. All the kids stare. Humiliated. Igor, beside him, comments. Well done, Ravioli, you might not be the hero of the day, but at least the Barilla pasta jingle came out fine. The other thing that came out, well, let's forget about that. Igor. No, wait, teacher. Ravioli just needed someone to test a new kind of shampoo. Igor. Ravioli is an underappreciated artist. He had something inside him to show the world. The problem is, it's green and sticky. Dash. It's afternoon. Papaya and his older brothers, Mino and Nino, are in the yard with a schoolmate. The kid has a brand new toy car, latest model, very expensive. Mino. Hey, look at this beauty. Nino. Come on, let's steal it. While the kid gets distracted chasing a ball, Mino and Nino grab the car and run toward home. Papaya watches, eyes wide. Papaya. Oh. Come back. A few minutes later, the doorbell rings. The mother of the child who lost the car is at the entrance. Papaya's mom opens the door and lets her in. Child's mom. Who took Ciro's toy car? I want that toy back immediately. Papaya sighs and points to his brothers. Papaya. It was Mino and Nino. I had nothing to do with it. Papaya's mom. Return it right now. Mino and Nino obey. Child's mom. Taking the car. Thank you, little one. I'll take it back home. Papaya watches the mom leave, relieved. But as soon as the door closes, his mom calls him. Papaya's mom. Papaya. How can you just let them do whatever they want? You're the one responsible. Papaya. But mom, they stole it. Papaya's mom. Doesn't matter. It's your fault. Go to your room, punishment immediately. Papaya goes upstairs, sad. The next day, he tells Igor, who comments. Childhood is absurd. Some bring a toy car to the yard, and some carry the weight of responsibility. Dash. School library. Mino and Nino wander the shelves, eyes on a thick, shiny dictionary. Papaya watches from a nearby table, surprised and a little helpless. Mino. Hey, look at this. Perfect for our plan. Nino. Make it disappear before anyone sees. In a flash, Mino and Nino take the dictionary and slip it into Papaya's backpack without him being able to react. Papaya. Aside. What are you doing? Dash. Classroom, a few minutes later. The janitor enters decisively. Janitor. Someone took the dictionary from the library? Everyone open your backpacks. The kids open their backpacks one by one. Papaya feels all eyes on him. Papaya. Aside. I have to save the situation, again. Mino and Nino slip the dictionary under the table. Papaya grabs it and holds it up. Papaya. Yes. I took it. Teacher. Why did you do it? Papaya. Well, better to take a note in the diary from the teacher than to get a broomstick to the head from mom. Mino and Nino look at him, stunned, while Papaya squints, resigned but triumphant in his absurd logic. Igor, beside him, comments. Sometimes the kid who gets 2 marks in the diary ends up better than the one who gets 2 broom hits to the head. Better to be broken, alone. Dash. Banani is called to a friend's house to spend the afternoon. They have nothing to do. Banani. Let's make a projector. Friend. How do we do that? Banani. Easy. Take a shoebox, some tape, a toilet paper roll, and a couple of old glasses lenses. The friend hands over the lenses and everything else. Banani assembles the setup. Looks like it works. The image is blurry. Banani begins moving the lenses back and forth, completely focused. Finally, the image comes into focus. And the cardboard box catches fire. Banani. No. Igor. Perfect. Next time Banani can also build a toilet paper roll fire extinguisher. Ravioli's school, technical education classroom. Teacher. Remember, for next week's project, create an example of a parallel circuit and a series circuit using small light bulbs and recycled materials. You can, for example, use cardboard from an old notebook or a piece of plywood from an old piece of furniture. Okay, everyone go home and get started on your project. Ravioli goes home and enters the kitchen. Mom. Ravioli, what do you need to do now? Ravioli. I have to make a project for technical education. I have to use recycled materials. But I don't know what to use. Mom. Well, look, there's that pizza cardboard you can use. Perfect for recycling. Ravioli. Perfect. Yesterday's pizza box. This will work great. Ravioli builds the circuit using the pizza box, not noticing the dry tomato and mozzarella stains on it. The following week, in class. The teacher calls the students one by one. Student 1. Takes out a notebook with a circuit. Here's my circuit. Teacher. Perfect, everything works great. Student 2. Takes out a circuit on a piece of plywood. Here's my circuit. Teacher. Very good, excellent use of recycled materials. It's Ravioli's turn. He takes out his pizza box. Teacher. What is this? Ravioli. Recycled materials. The pizza box? Teacher. But didn't you see it's all greasy and dirty from pizza? Ravioli. Yes, but it works. Classmates. Gross. Teacher. I don't even want to see how it's made. Go back to your desk. I said recycled materials, not stuff straight from the trash. Ravioli returns to his seat, sad and humiliated. Igor. Well done, Ravioli. Next time, build the circuit directly on a quattro stagioni pizza. That way, after testing it, we can eat it too. Ravioli's living room. Computer on. Paride is playing. Ravioli. 1 second, I'm going to the bathroom. He stands up. In reality, he doesn't go to the bathroom, he hides around the corner and spies. Paride stops playing. He approaches the shelf. Grabs the Big Jim. Hides it under his hoodie. Then also takes the Tiger Man toy car. Ravioli watches, clenches his fists, but doesn't intervene. Pretends to go back inside calmly. They play for a while, then Paride says he has to leave. Ravioli knows why. Ravioli. So, did you have fun? Paride. Yeah. He stands and heads for the door. But as soon as he opens it, Banani, Papaya, and Igor are there. Banani. Freeze. Papaya. What's under your shirt? Paride. Nothing. Igor. Nothing. Big Jim sighs. Ravioli approaches. Ravioli. Come on, take them out. Paride pulls out the Big Jim and the toy car. Keeps his head down. Papaya. Now we know why he was always coming here. Banani. Crime doesn't pay. But Ravioli paid dearly for that Big Jim. Igor. Yeah. At this point, it would have been better if he stole the computer too, we'd have saved hours of Tetris. Silence. Ravioli picks up the big Jim. Ravioli. Now I know. I wasn't imagining it. For years, I thought I was wrong, but no. It was him.